What is the worst impulse purchase you have ever made? I was really depressed one night because my girlfriend at the time had said that she wanted us to take a break. So, in my emotionally fragile state, I somehow ended up buying a $500 sword and a $700 suit of armor. A $250 cat genie self-flushing litter box. You can hear it whirring and clacking from everywhere in the house. Not to mention it takes 35 minutes to run, and does so every 2 hours. The stupid plastic reusable granules got tracked everywhere and ruined my vacuum and the bottoms of my feet. And every time it comes on it permeates the entire house with the smell of burning crap and flowers. They won't let me return it because for some reason a cat crap in it. Thank you for this information. I was seriously 5 minutes away from purchasing one. Got wasted before a carnival and spent $250 trying to win a 50-inch LCD TV. The carnival worker stopped me. Yes, you read that right. The carny told me enough was enough. Made off with a stuffed lion though, so who's the idiot now? A lifetime membership to Star Trek Online for about $200. Haven't played it yet. Now it's free to play. Well, you do get some cool ships as a lifer and you'll have a bunch of Zen stipend. Might well give it a shot as you can play with only really needing those things and be a leg up. And the Reddit community in Stowe is really awesome. Once bought a plate with a portrait of the Pope on it. I was 12 and I'm not a Catholic. I spent about €100 on some huge, heavy, overpriced, subpar art books from a museum in Rome. I had to pay extra to get them home due to the extreme weight, and in my shame I have never read them. As a horny teen who just discovered wall capture, I decided to pay for a proper dirty cam session with a girl on the basis that I could watch it back whenever, without realizing what I was doing. When capture picked up the square my cam was in instead, I paid $20 plus dollars for a tiny video of myself fapping. A wallet that looked like a piece of toast. It cost nearly 20 quid, all just to pull a dad joke of. How much will that be? £3. Just let me see if I had enough bread. Terrible joke, terrible wallet. Don't be too hard on yourself. I got a good laugh out of that, and I'd probably laugh at that at least 5-6 more times. I sold an aquarium for $100 last week. On the way home I saw a man selling bonsai trees on the side of the road, so I bought a $100 bonsai tree. Please, tell me you didn't start the conversation with, well, I've only got $100 to spend. A city bus. I made a living on eBay while in college and would buy and sell anything, as long as it was legal. I was at a municipal surplus property auction and we got to a row of brand name city buses. Nobody was bidding and they were starting each bus to show that it was in running condition. They started bidding at about $10,000. The auctioneer worked his way down to $500 and I finally threw up my hand. Nobody else bid. They proceed to sell about 15 buses for $500 to $700 each. I only bought one. After the auction was over I felt pretty good about it. I saw some on eBay that had sold for several thousand. I do not have a CDL, so I hired a driver and we went a few hours later to pick it up. We get onto I-85 in Charlotte and he quickly realizes that the transmission will not shift into third gear. So here we are, going about 20 miles per hour in second gear, while cars are blowing past us at 70 screaming obscenities out their windows. I tell the driver to turn around and we take back roads to the auction site. Everything is sold as is, so I knew I was stuck. I noticed a diesel mechanic a few miles away and attempted to sell it to them for what I paid. They weren't interested. So, I now had to get rid of a bus before the end of the business day. I ended up signing the bus over to the diesel mechanic for free, and I'm certain he sold it for scrap and made a good bit of money. I hung my head in shame, paid the driver for his work, and went home $700 poorer. I bought a second suit when I went to the store just to buy one. I was young and stupid and just got some money with a real job. The person helping me pick out a suit was a beautiful young woman with a seductive accent and she told me I could get this second suit for 50% off and it looked really good on me. I bought it, took it home and immediately had buyer's remorse. It was a terrible, ugly suit and I've never worn it. I don't want to be seen out in public wearing it. At a Leonard Cohen concert I bought a beautiful loser's shirt. Wore it once. Someone asked me if it was an ad for a weight loss club. I bought $600 worth of paintball gear and played for a total of 1 month. The world's greatest spot remover, or whatever it was called. Every time I walk past the fireplace I see the hole it left in the heirloom rug of my wife's, which wasn't before this event, just sitting there, mocking me. It was 12 years ago, and I still hear about it on a weekly basis. Would not recommend to a friend. In its defense, the spot is gone. I spent $1,800 on the royal blue Beanie Baby, Peanut in 1999. I would have killed for that elephant in 1999, but even then, the point was to sell it, not buy it for that much $sign. Dang those Beanie Baby buyer's guides and their projected values. When I was 12 years old I went to my local antique shop and bought a rotary phone for $70 because I thought it would be cool to have one. The look my dad gave me when I pulled it out of my backpack was priceless. A $400 standalone CD burner in 2001. The future is here. Well, today I went to a guy's house because he was advertising a 22 inches Asus monitor on CL. I walked out with 8 of them. Been up all night trying to figure out how to hook them all up. You'll need a few graphics cards. I'll answer for my friend. $1,200 gas powered nitro car. $300 everything necessary to get it to work. It would break every 15-20 minutes of runtime. Everything from tires getting screwed to piston issues. He ended up $2,200 in the hole after 3 months and approximately 4 hours of runtime on the car. He now keeps the piston as the world's most expensive keychain. Am I allowed to say the sum of all my microtransactions for any free-to-play game? Steepandcheap.com Intoxicated. Impulse purchased a pair of $120 heavy-duty Gore-Tex winter gloves because they were on sale. I live in South Carolina. But, it's Gore-Tex. A gram of oregano from Phil Frick You Phil. My Xbox 360's power brick melted from too much use. Instead of waiting to buy a new brick my brother and I pooled our money and bought another Xbox the same day. On the bright side, I've gotten better with my money. He has not. I bought 40 pounds of cheese from a store in Wisconsin. It was some fancy aged cheddar and I overnighted it. I was very drunk. I didn't poop right for a month. I was even to the point of making melted cheddar on non-melted cheddar with a side of cheddar over cheddar. When I was like 11 I bought a copy of EverQuest because it looked cool as frick. I didn't know there were games that could only be played online. I didn't have the internet. 10,000 glow sticks. A $2,000 glass bowl on the island of Murano in Italy. They get you trapped there watching the beautiful glass being blown. Then before you know it the little token you bought and shipped back to the US cost $2k. Worst of all, they inscribed the name of the girl I was with on the bottom. We'd broken up by the time the bowl reached me. So brilliant me tried to recreate the glass blowing experience and tried to melt off her name with my kitchen torch. Boom. $2k of shattered glass everywhere. A ghillie suit. I live in a suburban area. Sell it to paintballers. I used to make crude ones and those dudes love spending money on the kinda stuff. A 2-day 1-click hoster trial account for $5 while abroad on another continent with my freaking mobile phone. The 60-minute long premium call with elevator music whilst telling me to hold the line while the purchase is being processed didn't tip me off. Ended up paying $250 in roaming fees to download a 700 megabyte flick I really wanted to see. A second-hand airsoft gun. I bought it for €70 is somewhere in France. I don't even remember where. Some parts were missing but I didn't care cause when I saw it I thought with that gun I'd be the crap. I couldn't wait to go home and show it to my friends. Turned out one of my friends had somewhat the same airsoft gun, but then with all the parts included. He bought it for €30 brand new. I felt so stupid. So I told them I bought it for €25. Even then they told me I made a bad purchase. If only they knew. I traded all of my Sega games and peripherals, 32X, Sega CD, for a couple of PlayStation extras, like Rumble controllers and a few memory cards. I still regret that trade-in. I think everybody regrets trade-ins. A motorcycle which I paid for with a credit card. I had the money to buy it outright but instead chose to finance a bike. The rate I got was terrible, so I put it on my credit card with the intention that I would immediately pay it off, which I didn't. Took me years to pay it off and I only rode the bike for about 3 months. Every day riding that thing was an adventure in avoiding the Reaper. I would arrive at work completely stressed from the number of near-death experiences I had on the way in. Cheeseburger phone. Doesn't work very well. ShamWow. It's seriously a shitty cleaning cloth. It just lays on the floor as my ShamWow now. I bought a train phone. It looks and sounds like a little engine. The price wasn't bad. Maybe $12 or so from a thrift shop. But that thing is dang annoying when it rings. Sadly, my dad fell in love with it and won't disconnect it. Oh well. One night after a good bout of drinking, I decided I needed new front seats in my Jeep. I found a pair online at what was a smoking deal for the brand, Recaro. A few days later, one seat arrives at my house. Turns out it was $350 for one, not a pair. I didn't have another $350 to spend, so I fashioned a setup to play Forza in the chair, with a swing away steering wheel and pedals. It was nice until my cat peed in the chair. A house, in 2006. Shirts that are just a little too tight. Thought process, I'm on a diet. It will fit soon. VIP room entrance at a strip club. We're talking $400 just to get in, then drinks, then tip. And for what? Blue balls. It physically hurt to make that purchase. My buddy disappeared at a club in Vegas for a couple hours. $1,500 later we found him in the champagne room. The next day we calculated all the other things he could have done for the same price in Vegas. It involved a helicopter, fully automatic weapons, exotic cars, escorts and lighting a cigar with a $100 bill just for good measure. He settled for blue balls. Yellow stilettos. I can't wear them because they have a 6-inch heel and I feel like I'm going to die in them. So they are now just collecting dust in my shoe rack. The trick is to walk with your back straight, shoulders directly aligned with hips. Lead with your hips. Walk slowly if you must walk, but spend as much time sitting with your legs crossed as possible. Pretty much every time I am feeling lucky and I buy a scratch off or a lottery ticket, and I never even win a dang dollar. A can opener at the dollar store. It can't open any cans. It is the most useless object in the galaxy. Plastic model kits. I don't have the patience or the ability to do them that well. As a kid I kept thinking this time I'll do a decent job and it never happened. 2012 Mazda Speed 3. I was way hungover in for an oil change. Wandered around the lot and showroom floor and the salesman was really good at his job. I would counter that with a 2012 Mazda Speed 3 being my best impulse purchase. Not enough boat mentions in here. Infamous for the best 2 days of being a boat owner, the day you buy the boat and the day you sell it. I've heard this before and always wondered why that is the case. A $1,200 lap dance in Vegas. Yeah, I'm going to need to know what the heck else he could have done that's worth $1,200. You have been visited by the wall doggo. Subscribe to Reddit on tap and you will have good luck for 2 entire weeks. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.